All right, welcome. We're going to make a exercise today. Boy, struggling with the words there. We're going to make an exercise today. Hello there. We are going to make an exercise today called the control arm. So I've logged onto the Onshape Learning Center, as you can see up here, and I'm going to go to New to Onshape. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the Introduction to Part Studios. And then the first one we're going to do is this one called Exercise Control Arm. So I'm going to click there. And this is the object that we're going to make. Okay, so I'm going to click Next Page. And let's see what they want us to do. Create a new document and set the workspace length default unit to millimeters. Rename the document and Part Studio to Control Arm. And optionally do all this other stuff. But let's go ahead and go back to our Onshape, and we're going to go ahead and create that document. So I'm going to create a document. I'm going to call it Control Arm. And there it is. Okay, they said to rename the Part Studio Control Arm as well. So if I right click and click on rename, I can call that Control Arm. It's not a bad idea to name things because it avoids confusion later down the road. Now, we were supposed to set the default units to millimeters. So this triple bar menu up here allows us to do that. If I click that and go to Workspace Units, I can change length default unit to millimeters. And then I'm going to accept that. And let's go back here and see what we got. All right, next slide. Make this thing. Okay, that's not a lot of, they do have some instructions down here on the right, and we will follow them down. But hopefully you weren't too overwhelmed by seeing the whole part all at once, but here it is. Start a new sketch on the top plane. Okay, so I'm going to use the method of hovering over the top plane, right-clicking, and selecting new sketch. Okay, then I'm going to hit the N key to hide to look straight onto my sketch, and then the P key to hide the planes so I don't have to look at them. Let's go back to the instruction. Draw a construction line as a center line vertical from the origin. They mean this line right here. So I'm going to go get my line tool and construction tool, hover over the origin, click, drag straight up a bit, and click again. And then we hit escape to get out of that tool. Next, draw two circles and a center point rectangle with their center coincident with the origin. In other words, this circle, and then this rectangle. Now, if you notice, dimensions are given. We've got a 35 diameter circle, a 70 diameter circle, and our center point rectangle is 10 by 45. Now, I'm going to show you a way to create the sketch along with the dimensions right off the bat. And here's how you do that. I'm going to get the circle tool, center point circle. I'm going to click, I'm going to drag out a bit. I'm going to click and type 35. Okay, so not only did I create the circle, but I dimensioned it at the same time. Now I'm going to also do one that's 70. Click, type 70, and there you go. And then we need a center point rectangle. So this, it defaults to a corner rectangle, but if I click the drop down, I can get the center point rectangle. And this is cool because if I start hovered over the origin like this, no matter how I make this rectangle, it's going to be centered, the center of the midpoint of each horizontal and vertical side will be located horizontal and vertical to the origin in this case. All right, so I'm going to click. And that dimension was supposed to be 45, and the other one was supposed to be 10. And so, not only did I create the elements, but I dimensioned them while I created them. Big time saver. Now I'm going to hit escape, and I'm going to drag these out where they're not being obnoxious and making it difficult for me to see. This one's probably fine where it's at. Something like that. And then this one I'm going to drag out here. I just don't like dimensions being in the middle of everything. Sometimes you can't avoid it. These ones have to kind of be in the interior, but the circle ones especially. I like to move them out. Now going over here, it says, draw the 4 lines labeled A and make them tangent to the circles labeled B. Okay, I'm sorry, we'll obviously skip something. Draw 2 circles on either side of the center line and make them symmetric about the center line. Okay, this is the hard way to do it. I'm going to show you the easy way. What I'm going to do, noticing that this part is completely symmetric about this line. In other words, the left side looks exactly like the right side. I'm going to show the cool way to do this. And the cool way is to just draw the left side and then use the mirror feature to mirror it to the right side. So I'm going to start with those circles. So I'm going to click the circle tool. Now this is also a helpful thing. These circles are supposed to be lined up horizontally with the origin. If you notice, if I come down and get that to turn yellow, it's going to add that constraint. And then I can make the second one. So these are already horizontally aligned with the origin because of how I drew them. Now next I'm going to get the lines and I'm going to click the circle and click the circle. I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to do that again. Click the circle and click the circle. Okay, so what I'm going to need, if you go back and look, these lines are tangent. See those tangent constraints right there? These lines are tangent to both the circles. So I notice I've got a 20, a 35, and then these tangents. I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to get the tangent constraint from the drop-down menu. I'm going to click the line and the circle, and then the line and the other circle, and then duplicate that process for the bottom. And now I've got those tangent constraints. Now, I've already forgot what the dimensions were supposed to be. It's 20 and 35. I'm going to go back and add those dimensions. So this one's 20, and this one's 35. Okay, now here's where the coolness happens. I'm going to create the right side of the part using the mirror function. So I'm going to hit the mirror tool, select this as my mirror line, and then I'm just going to go ahead and select all the fun things that I would like to mirror. Uh-oh, lag. Oh, there we go. And so now, see how much quicker and easier that is to create a part like this? That's the way to do it. Okay, now what else do we need? And by the way, because I use the mirror function, I don't have to go in and create equals constraints. I don't have to add dimensions to this side. They are mirror duplicates of each other. So I killed a lot of birds with one stone, so to speak. Now going back here, the thing that's missing that's going to make this go black is this dimension down here. It's 250 millimeters from far end of this circle to far end of that circle. So let's go in, get the dimension tool. I'm going to select the outside of this circle. I'm going to select the outside of this circle, drag it down here, type 250, and bingo. Now my sketch is completely constrained, and we can move on to the next slide. In the next slide, we're going to select part of our sketch, and we're going to do a 40 millimeter solid new extrude up from the bottom. And so let's do that. First of all, I like to right-click in the white area and select isometric to get that view. Makes it a lot easier to see what's going on. I'm going to click extrude. Now the parts I needed were here, here, and here. You notice I selected them all and created one big extrude. I'm going to click over here, type 40, and I'm good. Now, right away you're like, uh-oh, my sketch went away. Anytime you do an extrude, it auto hides the sketch. Very easy to fix. Go back to the sketch, click on the eyeball, and the sketch comes back, because we are going to need that for the next extrude. And the next extrude is a 25 millimeter using the rest of the part. And so I'm going to click extrude, and I'm going to get that part, and I'm going to get that part. Now, you notice this is gray and not blue like the other part. There's a reason for that. Okay, now it automatically made it add. If it had made it new, you'd see a second part appearing down here, But add means I'm going to add it to the part that's already there, and that's actually what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that extrude. I'm going to go hide the sketch so we can see our beautiful finished part. There it is. And then I'm going to go back to the instructions, and there it is. It says rename the part. Okay, we're going to rename the part arm. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to right click on the part, click rename, and I'm going to type arm. Then on to the next slide, I'm going to highlight the part and look for the total surface area. Now they've blocked it out because they don't want to give it away, but we are going to go over here. We're going to click on arm. I'm going to click that mass and section properties. It looks like scales down at the bottom. And there's our surface area, 50179 and change. Now when I go back over here and click the next page, check to see if your model is correct. Begin self-check. And that gives us some options. 50179.71, that looks like our guy. I'm going to select it, see results. That's correct. Of course it's correct. I'm the one who did it. It's always correct. No, just kidding. All right, so there we go. And we are now done with our part, and we can move on to other things. Thank you, and see you next time.